Hello and welcome to another CodeSwag tutorial. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to create a simple PHP contact form. So let's get started. Okay, first we need to install Xampp on our machine, which is going to create for us our PHP development environment. If you already have Xampp installed or some other PHP development environment, you can look for the timestamps in the description below, and you can jump straight to the part where we're messing around with the code. But for those without Xampp, let's install it. So you want to open your web browser and type in the search bar Xampp. So Xampp is the development environment we're going to use in this tutorial. Okay, so we want to click on the first result, download Xampp. Okay, so we are here on the Xampp download page, and we want to download Xampp for Windows. I'm going to go ahead and download the latest version of PHP, which is PHP 8.1.1. Okay, so the download has started. We just have to wait for a little bit. So Xampp has been downloaded successfully. So let's head to our downloads. And we have the Xampp installation file. So we're going to click that and initiate the installer. So we're going to go with all the default installation options. Let me not, I don't want to know about Bitnami. And there goes the installation. Okay, so we have Xampp successfully installed, and I'm just going to leave this checked so that the Xampp control panel starts up. And there we go. We have the Xampp control panel launched there. So I'm going to minimize this. And next we want to go back to our browser. And you should check the description below for a link to downloading the sample project. So I am just going to paste that in. So I'm going to paste in the link to downloading the sample project. So it's going to open this page on the CodeSwag website, and all you have to do is just share your email address, and then you're going to have access to the sample project. Not to worry, we're not going to send you spam. At most, maybe 1 or 2 emails a month. So if you just share your email address, you'll be able to get access to the sample project. So let's close this. I already have the sample project downloaded here. So I want to unzip this. So I've extracted it. So now we want to, sorry, let's close this. Now we want to cut this folder for the sample project, and let's open Explorer. All right, and we want to go to our computer, C drive, Xampp, htdocs. So in that htdocs folder, that's where we want to paste the folder for our contact form project. All right, so that means it's now in Xampp. So next thing is we want to open up the control panel, and we want to start Apache. So if we start Apache, and yeah, we want to allow it access. Okay, so Apache has been launched. Let's minimize that, minimize, and let's go to the browser. So in our browser, in the address, we want to type in localhost / contact -form. So here after localhost, we're just going to put in the name of the folder. The name of the folder that contains our project. Okay, so we have our project open in the browser, and we can see we have here our contact form. And let's go to the folder where our project code is, and we want to open this with our text editor. Okay, so our code is open in the text editor. Let's go to index.php and let's go through the code. So you can see here we have our contact page, and we have some divs, some container divs, and then we have our form here. So it's a simple form. We have an input for our name, an input for the email of the sender, and here we have a select where we can select one of 3 email addresses to send the email to. So these are going to be the recipients of the email in the contact form, the subject of our email, the email message, and finally we have the submit button. So if we go back, this is essentially everything that's on this page. Right, now our form right here, our form is going to use the post method, and it's going to send the data in the form. It's going to send it to this file, code.php, which is here. Code.php is here. So it's going to grab, using the global post object, it's going to grab the email address, and this is the email of the person filling the contact form. It's going to grab their name, and it's going to grab this whom. So whom is the email address where we're sending the data, one of the drop-down options. And then, of course, the subject of the email, we've already pre-filled it as this is an email from the contact form, so that the recipient knows that this is coming from the contact form from our website. And finally, comment is going to be the actual email message. So into comment, we're going to append the name of the sender, the email address of the sender, and so we're going to say that the sender with the email address of this wrote the following, and then we're going to include the message, right? And then we're using the PHP mail function, which takes in an email address to send to, a subject, and a comment. And after this is executed successfully, we then echo out to the user that the mail has been sent, thank you, and the name of the user, we will contact you shortly. So this is very, very simple. We're not even gonna check for errors in case the email isn't sent or anything of the sort. It's just bare bones how to send contact form emails using PHP. Right, so this is the code that we have. Now we want to make it operational, right? So let's go to code snippets. And here are the steps that we need to follow in order to link up this contact form with Gmail, so that anyone who comes in here can send in emails, right? So if we were to try it out now, let's see what happens actually. Okay, so you can see that we're getting this email that it failed to connect to server, blah, 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 blah. That's because we haven't done anything to connect this to a mail server. This is just simply PHP running on our local machine. So we actually need to connect it to a mail server in order to be able to send emails from our contact form. So let's do that. Let's go back to our code. So the first step is that we have to open this file, Xampp php.ini, and we have to uncomment the field where we have this. So let's copy this and let's head to this file. So from here we will go to this PC, C drive, Xampp, PHP, and we are looking for the file php.ini. Right. So on this machine, I don't have file extensions aren't included. So let's actually include those file name extensions here. Right. Okay. So we now have our file extensions visible. So you can see this is php.ini. So let's open this with our code editor. All right, we just want to trust this. Okay, there we go. Right, so we now want to look for the file, the line that has this. So in php.ini, we want to go to edit and then find. And then we want to paste in the term that we are looking for. And then there we go. So you can see on line 973, we have the line that we're looking for, and it's uncommented. So you can see these semicolons are for comments, right? If I put a semicolon, you can see it turns green. So it's already uncommented. That's exactly what we want. So we'll leave that the way it is. So step 2, we want to look for the line that says mail function. All right, so we want to copy that. Let's go to php.ini, find again, and we want to paste that in. So we find that on line 1087, right? So this is the lines of code that we want to replace. So let's go to our code snippets. So this is the configuration that we want to add. Let's copy that. Let's go to php.ini and we'll paste, right? So here we are declaring that our SMTP server is smtp.gmail.com. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, which is the protocol that we're going to use to send emails. We're going to be using port 465, and the email address that we are going to be using to send email from is codeswagdemo@gmail.com. And the send mail path, this is the send mail program. So this is the actual program that handles sending emails. And this is the path to it when you have installed Windows on when you have installed Xampp on Windows in this folder. Right, so it's important that you follow the steps I did while installing Xampp to install to the default location. So that's it for this file. Let's go to file and then we'll save, and we're going to close php.ini. Right. Step 3 is we want to go to this file, Xampp sendmail, sendmail.ini. This is the configuration file for the sendmail program. So let's go back. So we want to go to C drive, Xampp, sendmail, and here we have sendmail.ini. Let's open this with our code editor. Okay, so as far as this file is concerned, we want to replace everything. So we're going to select everything and delete it. And let's go to our code snippets, and we want to take everything from line 29 until line 36. Copy. And we're going to paste that into the file, and save. Right. So here we are telling sendmail, the sendmail program, that our SMTP server is smtp.gmail.com, port 465. We're going to tell it to put any errors in a log file called error.log, any debug messages in a file called debug.log. So it's going to create these files. And as far as logging in, we're going to tell it that our authentication username is codeswagdemo@gmail.com, and our password is this, codeswag-demo2022. So when you are setting up your email, your Gmail, for you to send emails through, you need to put in your own Gmail account and Gmail password. Right, and then we're gonna say for sender. This just makes sure that this particular email is used to send. So you want to customize this to your own Gmail account and your own password. Right, so that's it for sendmail.ini. Let's close that. And finally, we want to copy this link, and this will enable us to configure Gmail so that we can access, so that we can connect to Gmail to use for sending email from our localhost. So let's open Gmail. And we want to sign in to Gmail. Okay, so our Gmail has been logged in. So let's go back to code snippets. Let's copy this link. Okay, and let's open a new tab. We want to paste that link and head over to that page. Okay, so the page has loaded, and we want to scroll down a little bit. Okay, so we want to come here where it says turn less secure app access, right? We want to look for this link, and let's open that in a new tab. Okay, so you want to make sure that here it says that you are allowing less secure apps, because the app that we're making, it's not exactly best practice, but it's good enough when you want to be sending emails through your localhost. So you want to make sure that this is on, so that we can send emails using that Gmail account. So let's close this, close that, and yeah, let's keep this open in our Gmail inbox. So that's pretty much it. All of our code is saved. Let's try it out with our contact form. So I'd already filled this in. Let me just make sure I refresh. Okay, let me try again. All right, so let's click submit. And again, we get an error. All right, so this error is coming from the default settings. So actually what we have to do, what we forgot to do, is if we come to our Xampp control panel, we have to restart Apache, right? So that it reloads the configuration files that we changed. Remember php.ini and sendmail.ini. So after restarting Apache, you just click stop and then start again. After restarting Apache, if we refresh the page and we put in exactly the same details as last time, right, and submit, right, we get the message that mail was sent. Thank you, Frank Sinatra, which is the name that we put in the contact form. We will contact you shortly, right? And if we go to, if we come here, right, you can see already we have this error. But if you go to sent, right, you can see we have an email in our sent folder, and Frank Sinatra with this email address wrote the following: this is a test message. And if we go back to our code, this is exactly what we put here. This is our comment. This is the body of our email. So you can see that the email is actually working. It's just that there is no email address called fred@gmail.com, because if we go to index.php, that's the one under Fred Flintstone. So the code is working. It's just that this email address does not exist, right? But otherwise, this is how you can send email using a contact form in PHP and Gmail. If you like this tutorial, please support this channel and help us create more free programming tutorials. You can support us in 3 ways. You could buy yourself some cool tech gear and merch at our online store, codeswag.net/shop. Secondly, you can become a patron at patreon.com/codeswag, and for as little as $1 a month, you enjoy awesome perks, including early access to videos, as well as exclusive Patreon-only videos. Lastly, you can send us some Bitcoin using the address in the description below.